I absolutely love the original Candyman. I feel it's one of the best horrors from the 90s, an era that didn't have a great range of horrors, but Candyman was fantastic. The sequels were, well, not as good as the original. Wasn't as layered, wasn't as nuanced as that, but we get a remake now out to 2021. I was eager to check this one out, and I'm a little bit conflicted about this one. It's a movie that has some wonderful moments, but ultimately has some really bad points that let it down as well. It's following the story of Anthony, who is a painter. He's living in a gentrified area of Cabrini Green. He is a loft, he's doing his artwork, he's trying to find his niche. His wife works within the art industry as well, and they hear a story about Candyman, and that starts to spark interest in Anthony, and he ends up going down the rabbit hole of researching this character, going to Cabrini Green, looking around, finding other characters. He finds another one, Burke, who tells him all about the history of Candyman.
Helen Lau was out here looking for Candyman. You ask me, I say she found him.
And it starts to infect him, both physically and mentally. He starts to be compelled to paint pictures of Candyman, to think, to talk about it. He's been stung by a bee in his hand, and it's starting to turn nasty, starting to infect his body and creep into larger areas as well. And the movie is wonderfully shot. We have lots of shots of people looking directly into the camera, almost as if they're looking into a mirror. There are strange sequences, particularly the opening, which is a wonderfully shot counterpoint to the original, where in the original movie we had a top-down of the city following, just looking at the layout. This one we seem to have a camera at the bottom, looking up into the city. It's a nice, like I said, a nice mirror counterpoint to the original, and there's lots of really artistic flourishes in this one that I loved, particularly the characters being centre of the screen, staring into the camera, talking to us the viewer almost at points. Lots of people do it, and it's a really nice stark image that I loved. The idea of Candyman as an unseen killer, as we see in the movie, only seeing him in reflections, was really nice. There's a wonderful sequence where someone is in an apartment building, the camera is kind of pulling out, we see her walking along where suddenly she's pulled up, blood spurts, and she is smeared across the windows. It has all these wonderful artistic touches that just make it look like a really stunning movie. And the score rivals the original. Not as good, but still really fun. And I loved the way the score is integrated and where they use some of the original score in this movie as well. The problems I have are more with the story. Now, I love the way that they shoehorn Anthony and his tale into the original movie, how he was part of the original movie. Now, I'll try to do very little spoilers in this one if I can, but the whole crux of this comes in 2 points for me. The Candyman character. The Candyman character in this isn't the original Candyman. There is this grandiose story that throughout history there has been people who have been put upon, had horrible lives, who have died horrible deaths, who have then taken on the persona of Candyman and the afterlife, creating terror and perpetuating this tale of Candyman. Candyman is multiple people coming from an original source, but encapsulating multiple people who have died horrible deaths, unjust deaths. And I just don't like that aspect. I like how they're trying to, expand the mythology here, how they're trying to create something new and different, but I don't like the fact that they've moved away from Tony Todd's iconic character so much here. And also the infection that he has, the infection that starts to take over his body, it's horrible, it's disgusting, it's creepy. And at first I thought it was all in his head, but there's points where he goes to a hospital, people look at it, people see his hand, and nobody seems to do anything about it. There seems to be this just people turning blind eye to the fact that he seems to be disintegrating in front of people's eyes. And people comment on it, which makes me think that it's a real life phenomenon. There's just the way the movie ends is rather abrupt. It breaks the rules of Candyman as well. You know, you have to say his name 5 times in the mirror at the end of this. That doesn't happen. Well, not by the one person anyway. And it just kind of left me feeling a little bit cold at the end, a little bit rushed, as if there was a lot missing in that final point to kind of get it to 90 minutes. It's a movie that I appreciate. I don't think it works fully, and the more I think about it, the more I think it kind of works against the mythology of the original while trying to expand it. Still, they've tried. I don't think it quite works, but beautifully shot, beautifully directed. I think really well done on that front. It's just the story's lacking a little bit. I'd love to know your thoughts on Candyman, whether you liked it, where you think it lies in respect to the first one. Of course, there's other videos up here if you want to see more of my content. Remember to hit this video with a like if you think I deserve it. Maybe share the video, that would be great. And of course, you can join in the membership for more exclusive videos, or the Patreon if you just want to support me. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time.